What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the official Cliffy J, and I'm back with another challenge video. And I'm going to be looking at the career of Ashley Millionaire Mitchell and give my thoughts on her as a competitor, political player, and a character. And then I'm going to determine if I feel like she's generally considered underrated, overrated, or properly rated. Let's start with her rookie season. She debuted on Rivals 3, and she was paired with Corey Wharton because of a couple of possibly racial comments she made during her real world season, leading to her being kicked out of the house.
My family will buy and sell her family.
Okay, get the boot.
Didn't stop at the real world. On Rivals 3, she got into fights, hooked up, and competed hard. Her and Corey were a solid pair in challenges like Dirty Laundry, where they came in third, and Ashley was going crazy,
That's Ashley. I know that moan from anywhere.
and Out on a Limb, excluding Kellyanne, Ashley and Sarah were the two best female performers, so it came down to time. And Corey and Ashley moved faster, so they got the win. Gimme Some Slack was one that they only lost because Corey dropped her before she could get all the flags. And I would say her only bad performances came in the daily challenges Would You Rather and Up All Night. Then I would also say that she wasn't spectacular in her elimination loss against Nate and Christina. Definitely a solid rookie season. She showed some potential, so I'd give it a 5. She had a showmance, won a daily, which are both net positives for me to go against the fact that she was hard to deal with for some people, and she had some good and bad performances that showed a lot of promise. Her second season was Invasion of the Champions, where she came in as an underdog. After a roller coaster rookie season, she tries to replace her showman's Jamie for Hunter, but Hunter wasn't going for that crazy stuff. But on a serious note, this season really showed the importance of friends and team members. She was not a dominant force by any stretch of the imagination. She wasn't controlling anything, but she benefited from others' actions throughout the season. First stage of the season, the underdogs had to earn their spot in the Oasis by either winning a daily or an elimination. The first daily was individual, but they needed to work together at the beginning, and conveniently, she was the first one to be lifted over the wall, which certainly contributed to her coming in second for the women and seventh overall. The second daily, Shell Shocked, was a pair challenge that probably should have been individual. The way Ashley was paired with Hunter Barfield, and he destroyed the challenge all on his own without any visible help from Ashley. So Ashley was able to punch her ticket to the Oasis, probably because of Hunter, going Steph Curry at the end of that challenge. We didn't see Ashley compete again until episode 5 in the Knockout Daily Challenge, which was the first team daily challenge. She had a solid performance. Granted, she was with two extra players on her team, so you can kind of take that one with a grain of salt. Every girl except Laurel basically got flung pretty quickly during the Roll with the Punches daily. But I would say the Ashleys were the worst in the challenge. Like they got flung literally immediately. But really don't have like timings to say who really did the worst. But I would for sure say it was insane how fast they both slipped off. She fell after Ashley Kelsey, but still. In the Curry Up Daily Challenge, she was able to get up the hill second for the women, but it didn't really matter because the champs absolutely destroyed him in this challenge. Like it wasn't even close. She was the only woman to get a time penalty during crossover, so that really wasn't good either. And then you have the Underdog Bloodbath, which consisted of a Sudoku Purge challenge called Exit and a three-way tug of war. Ashley was able to finish second in the Exit challenge behind Amanda, and then her and Amanda were able to work together for her to get the win over Nicole in the three-way tug of war. She then led her team to a win in the final daily challenge caved in, outperforming the remaining champs in a very impressive performance. The final was close between Camilla and Ashley, but not only did she come out with the win, but I'd say she was able to outperform Camilla in the final. Day one, she was paired with Nelson, and contrary to the name Scubanelli, Nelson isn't the best in the water, and she certainly held him back. As soon as they were able to get on the land, she was able to outperform everybody on that first puzzle, and they were able to get back in the water first. Then we come to the time buster, which she caught a penalty just because Nicole is such a hater and so dumb. Camilla was literally ahead in the final and she still gave her the penalty. Day two, Ashley had to take a 30-minute penalty because CT was starting his dad bot era and he wasn't able to pull himself up during that one checkpoint. Nicole and Nelson arrived at day two puzzle before any of the other teams, but Ashley and CT were able to arrive there and outperform everybody because CT let Ashley take the lead, which Nelson did not let Nicole do, and Ashley was able to get that puzzle done pretty impressively once again. Day three was pretty even for all of the players, except for Corey, and Ashley kind of struggled because of Corey, who was by far the worst performer in the final. Like, he did terrible on every day, finished last in almost every checkpoint, if not every checkpoint. This was just a terrible showing from Corey. Like, no cap. But I would say another solid season from Ashley, but I can't say it was dominant. I really think this season truly capsulized her entire career and her gameplay. She makes friends. As long as she's single, she's going to get it cracking, blows up at somebody delusionally. She's inconsistent in dailies, kind of garbage in elimination, but you know what? She shows up in the final, so I can give her a 7. Her third season was Dirty 30, where it was individual, but she quit before the first challenge because of missing luggage. So I'm going to have to go ahead and give her a 0. I really can't give her a rating for this. Like, I really want to say NA. I don't really count this season for her, but I kind of have to because she came. She was there. She showed up and she's on the cast when you look at it. So kind of got to give her a rating for this season. Her fourth season was Final Reckoning. Her partner was Hunter Barfield, and Final Reckoning was a complete cakewalk for Ashley. She was able to come into the game nearly halfway through, one of the strongest male partners on the cast. Like, her alliances were all working together. Ashley and Hunter's alliances were all working together. They were running the game. And it was honestly more of what you would expect from Smashley, man. Hookups, fights, but she did not compete like I was expecting. She was kind of mid as a competitor on this season. I know some people are going to disagree with me because she won, but other than dunking for dinner, she never was really great before the final. Her elimination win really wasn't impressive because she only won because Faith got injured, quote unquote injured, because she broke her nail. Then you have like the No Slack Daily Challenge, What Comes Up, What's Come Down, and Skybridge that all kind of just showed her lack of ability in height challenges right now. Then I'd also say her endurance and overall fitness looked worse on this season than any peak season for Ashley. During the final, she did punish and tenderize Hunter. Like, it's insane.
Hold on! Hold
She insistently was coming down the ladder of the chopper, so she was stepping all on Hunter's hands, which caused him to fall, and he probably tore up his back. Like, I'm surprised he wasn't like seriously injured. She was definitely the better runner during that initial run, so I'll give her that. Then after that, she literally stood on his feet during the log stand portion, even when he was telling her not to stand on his feet. Like, and I'm not saying she can't eat, but during the eating portion, he carried her.
God, you're killing it, Hunter. I'm so proud of you, bro.
You know, when I do these eating
Like, he carried her, and they won that because of her. So all she really had to do was outrun Hunter at the beginning, and then outrun Marie at the end. So that's not really a super impressive performance for me. Like it was good. Like not gonna disrespect Ashley. She did perform in the final like I expect her to, but it wasn't great. So I'll give her a 6 for this season because of the finals performance. Then her next season, her fifth season, was War of the Worlds, where she was partnered with Chase McNary. And coming off a dub, we know Ashley's give a fuck meter is very low. It's almost like she comes in after a wins just for the appearance check and to serve Ventus Ashley Mitchell, which at the time you gotta expect even in small doses. The Ashley and Theo argument was hilarious, and she was able to get 7th out of 17 during the very first daily challenge. And then in her elimination against Hunter in Georgia, she only lost because Chase got absolutely dominated badly by Hunter. Unfortunately, it's like the nature of the beast, so I kind of got to give this season a 2. I can't really give it a high rating. And her sixth season is War of the Worlds 2. It was also a team season. She was on Team US. And I'm going to preference this by saying this was definitely my favorite Ashley season. I would say it's the best that she ever looked as a challenger for sure. She had good performances in Hooked and Puzzling Swim. Then she also was able to kill Nani in the Run for Your Life elimination. And then you also had Mind the Cart was one that I can't really say she was bad because she wasn't able to cut the rope because she went back and forth so many times against Jordan and stuff like that. Then she had a bad performance in Temple Watch Reverse, where she was one of the only people to fall. But other than that, I can't really say she had a bad performance. In the other dailies, they were either like two team oriented or kind of hard to gauge how great she performed. So I do know it wasn't really noticeably bad. So I'm not really going to knock her for any of those performances either. And then in the final, the math check number crunch checkpoint, she finished that eighth out of all the finalists. And then on the eating checkpoint with the scorpion and nasty bug and all that, she missed all her shots, but she easily ate the scorpion. That really wasn't any issue for her. Pyramid scheme was a super tough puzzle that only Paulie was able to solve. And then when they got to that final purge puzzle, she did finish it, but she was the ninth person to finish it, so she wasn't able to move on to the next section of the final. So overall, I'll give her a 7.5 for the season. To me, it's her best season, but I see the argument for other seasons. I think she was the second best female performer on Team USA throughout the season. Like that's obviously if we're including Tori. So I got to give her a lot of credit. She was also able to have a solid elimination performance against Nani. So you feel me? And that was after having to go back and forth so many times during the Mind the Cart daily, which Nani didn't have to even go back and forth that many times. I think Nani went a couple times. Not saying she didn't, but Ashley was the one that kind of had to carry the team because Kara's not a great swimmer. Um, Cam can't swim. Ninja can't swim, so she definitely had to pull more weight than other women in that challenge. Ashley Millionaire Mitchell's seventh season came in total madness. And it was another individual season. By total madness, Ashley was more than solidified. She was a multi time champ, 3-time finalist, but she's sloppy. I don't know. Ashley just seems like she didn't care on this season, at least from a competitive standpoint. Battle lines and air extraction, she was certainly one of the worst performers. While the Cold and Detain and Cold War weren't weaker performances, I don't really know how to feel about those because doesn't really know what she did. She didn't really do anything impressive. So I can't give her much credit for them because she didn't win. She didn't really come in second or third. So. And then in her elimination, Codebreaker versus D, she looked terrible. Like I understand you don't know all the history of the challenge, but you got destroyed by Wes and D, I guess you'll say, but she just wasn't good in the elimination at all. And in my opinion, this was the beginning of like a slight slump in her career. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. 8th season, Double Agents didn't really go much different from Total Madness. It was a switching pair season. She went to the first elimination against Natalie Anderson, lost the Fire Escape elimination, got back into the game. She arrived back into the game, put on a bad performance in Agent Down. Then she was able to bounce back performance wise in the next daily smuggle run, but she lost because Corey led her the wrong way. This loss, of course, led to her going into elimination against Cam and losing in Dead Ringer. So I gotta give it a 3. I'm probably glazing a little bit, giving it a 3, but I don't want to keep doing Ashley dirty out here, Kai. Ashley's 9th season was SLA. It was a switch format. It was a switch format, switching pairs type of season. Ashley's SLA started off mostly rocky because she was paired with Huey because he came in last in the first daily challenge. He was able to bounce back in the very next daily challenge, Sea Cave Retcon, but Ashley wasn't able to keep his pace. Then you got Undercoms, which was a pretty funny daily challenge for Ashley and Huey because they were only able to give one detonator and they detonated Nelson's bomb, which was kind of like, come on. And then after that, Huey went to elimination and he picked Nani as his new partner to get away from Ashley's criticism and to position himself better in the game. That happening, Ashley and Josh were made as a pair, and they were a very strong pair, able to be a top 3 team in 2 different daily challenges. And Ashley was a top 3 performer in the Minefield Daily. After the eighth after the episode 8 elimination, Jeremiah took Tori as a partner and Priscilla paired with Josh, which left Ashley with Ed. And the partnership only lasted an episode because episode 10, the pairs were disbanded and teams were formed. And the team was crowned the winner of that challenge, all in the flow of one daily challenge, Diamond Dash. Ashley was able to complete her task, 4th for the women and 12th overall, and picked her team, which ends up being the Sapphire Cell, along with CT, Nelson, and Ed. And then the team was filled out by Ashley and Bettina. And they did lose that first daily challenge. Priscilla called out Ashley in a very fun elimination matchup called Seek and Destroy, which did cater more to Ashley's skill set. So it was able to culminate this little storyline we had between Ashley and Priscilla pretty fun, with the rookie kind of proving himself, but still taking a loss to the champ. Champ kind of showing I still got it type thing. It was fun. It was fun to watch. And then we go into the next daily challenge, Satellite Sabotage, which Ashley quit out of fear. Then her and Amanda got manhandled by Tori and Casey in brush contact. Then you got Sunken Intelligence, which was probably the team's worst performance, leading to them getting last, where they were able to immediately rebound that with their best performance and with Ashley on the team, because they did perform good after that, but this is their best performance with Ashley on the team in Submerged. Even with them struggling to find their puzzle pieces and stuff like that, they were able to get first in the challenge. Then Ashley ruined
Me and Kyle are
her
just gonna have some
season
fun
by
with this.
disrespecting Josh and was kicked out, which is crazy because Fessy and Ashley were kicked off, to be honest, just because they messed with Josh. Like, it really makes me think Josh maybe has some dirt on production, because the fact that Josh was able to push Devin and get all aggressive in everyone's faces and all the stuff he's able to do, and he never got kicked off. And then Ashley's 10th season after a short break was All Stars 5 Rivals. And she was partnered with Anissa. Not really much to say about this season. Ashley talked down on Anisha the whole game and then lost the elimination for them. Like, I don't really know how else to say it. Obviously, she's better than Anissa, and I just feel like she could have been nicer to her. Like, I get it. She isn't the best competitor. She wasn't doing good in the dailies, but you did terrible elimination, so it's kind of just like, now you just look dumb. But once again, nature of the beast, I'll give it a 2. So yeah, overall, how would I rate each of her seasons? I'd give Rivals 3 a 5, Invasion of the Champions a 7, Dirty 30 a 0, Final Reckoning a 6, War of the Worlds 2 a 2, War of the Worlds 2 a 7.5, Total Madness a 2, Double Agents a 3, and SLA a solid 6. Now let's look at Ashley as a competitor, political player, and character. Starting with her as a competitor. I would say her strengths are endurance and running cardio, swimming, and then her intelligence as a player in puzzles, math, and problem solving. And here are my examples for that. As you guys see, she has a plethora of examples. And then I would say her weaknesses are obviously her physical strength and size. And here are my examples for that. And then we also have her elimination performance, which is kind of a broad thing to say. But in general, I would say that eliminations versus dailies and finals, she performs by far the worst in eliminations. She's just not good in them. And I don't think that just is because of physical strength and stuff. I think it's a lot also just because she doesn't perform good. Maybe it's more pressure, going into a win or go home situation. And then we have her political game. I've always looked at Ashley as neutral politically because of seasons like Invasion of the Champions, Final Reckoning, World of Worlds 2, Double Agents, and SLA. She was in a good position, not really because she was the most active player, but because she had friends on the cast and she played a very good social game. I'd say the only seasons she was genuinely bad politically were Rivals 3, Total Madness, and World of Worlds 1. And Total Madness was mostly because Bananas was in such a dominant position and they are opposing figures in the game. And then her as a character. I would say Ashley is certainly a very polarizing character, but only a few people have completely ruined themselves for me, and Ashley is not one of them. So with Ashley, it's more of a season by season thing. However, like a lot of vets, she has done 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons, and then 10 years at that. Their little bit is a little played out. Their little, bit is a little played out. Ashley was young and wild and fun to dunk on as a character for a while, but now she is kinda annoying and immature. But season 41 is her chance to completely redeem herself, for me at least, to where I can start to really like Ashley again. I can see it. So we gonna see. And it is funny because a season like season 41, I don't know if you guys have all seen the cast, but like a season like 41, I could see her doing well because though Bananas has been one of her biggest roadblocks, I think he'll just have bigger fish to fly with Olivia, Theo, Derek, and Naya all in an alliance coming for him, and his still active rivalry with Cara Maria. Now let's answer the question. Is Ashley generally overrated, underrated, or properly rated? I did do a couple of polls. So here are the results to those polls. I didn't have that many votes, obviously. I'm not some big, guy that has a whole bunch of fans and stuff like that. But here are the polls. These are the results. Ashley lost them all, basically. So it's not really, not good for Ashley right now. Not looking good for Ashley right now. Not looking good for Ashley. But the polls didn't have many votes, and I did do a decent amount of research, and I was able to gauge the general public would rank her around the 12 to 17 range for the women all time. Most people would have Jenny West, Tori, Sarah Rice, Cara Maria, Camilla, Laurel, Evelyn, Emily Scroom, and Casey Clark over her, and a lot of people would have Paula, Rachel Robinson, Cam Williams, Jody also over her. And I'll be honest, the love doesn't really stop there because it is a legitimate argument for players like Coral, Veronica, Susie, Amber, Kaz, Ninja Natalie, and John A to also be ranked over her. Is Ashley overrated? Yes, but only by a little bit. It's pretty easy to sum it up that she's one of the hardest players to rank because she has 2 wins in basically 3 seasons. but she's never been a dominant player in her entire career. Outside of her elimination performance versus Nani, she's never really had a dominant performance in general. Her political ability is a bit spotty. I give her credit for being able to make friends though. And she's a great final runner because of her swimming and puzzle solving ability, but she's not a great challenge athlete. She's an average daily performer and a terrible elimination performer, so I'd probably put her in the 23 through 17, 15 range, definitely on the lower end. The wins don't really mean anything to me because I value performances when I'm rating a player over the results, simply because results and stats lack context, and sometimes it comes down to luck more than skill or ability. She's had two strong finals performances. Invasion was a great performance, and World of Wars 2 was a decent performance, especially from a team perspective. She's had a few solid daily performances throughout her career and two good elimination performances. That really doesn't separate her from a lot of women that have only done like 2 to 4 seasons. All in all, Ashley is a very good player, one of the best final runners from a skill set standpoint, and her lack of impressive performances in both dailies and eliminations, on top of basically no political dominance, leaves me a bit disappointed with her career. And at this point, I question if I truly believe she's an all time great. So let me know if you guys believe Ashley is overrated or where you guys will rank her all time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Who you guys would like to see me make a video on next? Peace.
Should leave and I'll stay.
Yeah, usually.
No, you leave this way and I'll stay.
I leave this way. It's awful.
You don't respect me at all.
Stop.
You don't respect me at all.